Hello, welcome back. So before we go and continue implementing the, let's say, the elements of our authentication, which it is basically having the authentication gateway in front of our identity provider, I want to show the flow first, right? So we have implemented the login here. I have showed you guys that I can actually now get to a login page and actually log in with my credentials. But then I was redirected to somewhere where we don't have yet available, which is our authentication gate. Now, let's just have a look again on this flow. And I have one diagram here that describes it well, how the OIDC flow works. So we have the client side, which is going to be our authentication gateway. And we actually going to be redirected to the server, which is our Keycloak OIDC implementation. So we'll be authenticating using our password and login, and then redirect it to our client with authorization token, where we actually saw in the previous video. And now with the authentication token, we need to actually do one more round here and ask for the final token to the Keycloak server. And we'll finally get a ID token and access token, which is the difference between the two. It is that ID token is actually referring to the authentication itself and from OIDC, and the access token comes from OAuth 2, and this is used for the authorization part of things. And this image here described well the difference between those two, which is OIDC token. The user has been authenticated, and this coming from the OIDC Connect spec. And then we have the access token. The app has been authorized. So here we'll basically actually asking for the what type of scope this user have in the credentials. So here comes from OAuth spec. Both can come with GWT or JOT token. So we're gonna, this can be a string as well, but it's very common to always be GWT token. And in our case, it will be a JOT token or GWT. So example here, both comes with the same JOT token structure, with contain the header with the algorithm that was encrypted, and it will contain the payload and a signature to be able to validate the token using the certificates. And we're gonna see this process later. And you can see that it's the same on the access token. So all the JOT token, we're gonna be exploring this a bit later, and it'll be focused on everything that is around this token, authorization token, authentication token. And when should be using, just to assume that the user is actually authenticated, but it should not be passing to anywhere else or call APIs and things like that. So when you need to call APIs, we should actually use the access token instead. So that's the basically difference between both. So Open ID Connect, it sits on top of the OAuth protocol. So it's very similar. The only difference is this ID token that OIDC implements as part of the specification. And I think that's basically it. So now we are going to actually implement our authentication gateway, and we're going to see that flow step by step on the code. So see you later.